What's up, everybody? It's Illogic here. Today is Bandcamp Day, so you know I can't let it pass without doing something special for y'all. So today only, there's 20% off of all Autopilot pre-orders. Use code AP20. That's AP20 to get 20% off all Autopilot pre-orders for all packages. For everyone who has ordered the album thus far, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. For everyone that haven't, this is your chance to get it at a little discount. For today only, sale ends at midnight tonight. AP20 is the code at illogic.bandcamp.com. Pick up Autopilot, release date October 20th, 2020. Thank y'all for all y'all support. Don't forget Beats and B-Sides tonight. Peace.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Beats and B-Sides. Beautiful Friday evening. I like to say peace to everybody who's watching right now. Really appreciate y'all joining us. So yeah, today we are going to go into, we're going to talk about doing things yourself. With this album, it's a journey to Autopilot, part 5 of the series. And we're going to talk about doing things yourself. For this entire album, I did 90% of everything myself. You know, what up, Gareth? What up, Gareth? So we're going to get into that. And yeah, and I got a little surprise for everybody who was here last week. You already know what it is at the end of the stream. Let me show y'all a little something special. Previewing a new song for y'all. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. There's not gonna be any verse of the week this week. I'm running out of verses to show y'all. You know, maybe I'll redo, like I'll perform a classic verse or something. Start doing that. But yeah, and anyway, you get a new song today. So word. Again, I appreciate all my supporters. I appreciate everybody who watches me do this on Friday. I know things are opening back up, so you know it's probably not as convenient for as many people to check it out, but we here, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into this. Again, I'm not going to be in front of y'all too long. We're just going to talk about the importance and the power behind doing things yourself. So I want to take y'all back into some history. We're going to start off with, what up, Ish? We're going to start off with a little history of hip-hop in general. The power of doing things yourself is that you can create something that can become a movement. You can create something that is continuously evolving and continuously building when you create things yourself, when you don't look for outside help as much. Now, everybody needs a team. Everybody needs people to help them get to where they, are going. But things are starting to close again. Dang, man, I'm sorry about that. But everyone needs a team. Everyone needs help, in ways. Just like, I don't press vinyl, so I have to contact, someone who presses vinyl. I don't press t-shirts myself, so you have to contact companies and people who do those things. All of my t-shirts are printed by the Print Remedy. Shout out. But so doing things yourself just means not waiting around for someone else to give you the go-ahead to make something happen. So when you go back to the beginnings of hip-hop, Cats just wanted to have fun. Cats just wanted to, have something for themselves. And, creating something out of nothing is what hip-hop was, is what is the foundation of hip-hop. And what up? And so building on that, fast forward to the beginnings of Weightless. Me, Blueprint, Manifest, and Inkwell, we knew we had something special within our group and we wanted people to hear it. So what we did, because nobody would, we didn't look at people to put out our records. Nobody was really coming to check for us. So we thought, what the hell, we do it ourselves. And in doing that, now I've gotten here to a point where, there's a good amount of people who know who I am. Blueprint is who he is. Weightless has a little name as a label. The same with Rhyme Sayers, the same with Def Jux when it was still functioning, the same with Def Jam when it started. Sometimes when you do things yourself, you don't realize, a lot of times it's out of necessity. But the realization comes when, you're in the process and you start to learn the business of whatever you're doing, and you start to see that there's power in doing things yourself. One of the things that we talked about on the podcast a couple weeks ago was the difference between ownership and, what was it? Well, we talked about being an artist, the difference between being an artist and having ownership in, your art. And one of the things that I've started to understand in the last probably 5 years or so is the power that I possess with my own music, being able to press my own music, being able to repress albums when I want to, being able to release them when I want to. There is power in that. There is a sense of, power in having the ability to do things yourself. So with have I ever contacted instrumental? I'm not understanding the question, Ben. But doing things yourself, you feel a sense of accomplishment. It encourages you to continue to press forward. It encourages you to continue to, stay on the path that you're on, especially if you see things as a success or you see things building. Everything isn't always a success right out the gate. And a little side note, it's Bandcamp Day. I know some people saw the little commercial I did at the beginning. Bandcamp Day, 20% off all Autopilot packages. Today only. Sale ends at midnight. So if you haven't got the album, hit illogic.bandcamp.com to pick the album up. You get 20% off. Use code AP20. But back to the subject at hand. Doing things yourself is so important. And I'm going through a situation where, I'm trying to get, some masters back in hand that I don't own right now. And in the beginning when I first did this project that I'm talking about, I just wanted to be signed. I just wanted to, it was fame or ownership, which is what we talked about on Super Duty Tough Work. But I just wanted to be signed. So I just wanted to be able to give my record to a company and have them do all the work and I just show up and rap. The problem with that is, in order to get that contract that I ended up getting, I had to put out 3 or 2 EPs myself, which were super successful. And I was so short-sighted that I didn't understand that what I was doing already had built the anticipation in order for the album to be successful with this label instead of doing it myself and it being successful with me. So it's very important, and I'm regretting that decision to this day. Now, the album was still a success. And I'm not mad that the album came out the way it did, but I always look back on that particular album and, regret the fact that I was so wanting to be signed to a label at the time that I didn't understand the power that I had in doing what I did in order to even get noticed by the label in the first place. So doing things yourself is very, very important, and it's very important to your longevity. It's very important, honestly, to you financially as an artist. You have to make sure that the things that you do, you have control of. And, because if something that you do pops, but someone else owns it, you stuck. You're super stuck. So, make sure that you do things that when you look at your art or when you look at your job or when you look at whatever you're doing, make sure that you have control of what you can control and you don't surrender that control to anyone else. Right now for Autopilot, one of the things that I've always looked at, or just with this album, because the album is so special to me, I even, sent it out to someone else to engineer and to mix it and master it for me. And when they sent back the test of the mixing, it didn't sound like I wanted it to sound. And, there was multiple passes taken at the album and it still never sounded exactly how I wanted it to sound. So in that, I started to think like, okay, well, I know how to mix. I'm not the greatest at it, but I know how I want this album to sound because it's my first self-produced album, so I have an idea already of how I want this album to sound. So I took it back and I ended up mixing the album myself. Now, I wasn't, the best at mastering, so I did outsource the mastering portion, which I think my man DJ Ginsu, who masters a lot of Blueprints albums as well, did an awesome job mastering the record. But, I was trying to engage the team that I have put in place, people that I can call on when I need certain things. I've put them in place for certain reasons. And I tried to call on them for that. And in particular, the sound of this particular record, I needed to do it myself. The artwork for this album. Yeah, I know a lot of graphic designers. I know some of the best graphic designers. I know, a lot of photographers, really great photographers. I know a lot of people that can do a lot of things. I know a lot of artists that could paint me a dope picture for my artwork. But I knew the message that I wanted to convey. So for my album cover, I took the picture. I did the photography for it. I chose the color scheme, all of that, because of the importance of the record to me. And in doing all of this for Autopilot, I'm starting to really understand how special it is to have certain skills and how special it is to really have the power and the control over your art. Again, I did all the production on this record as well, so I really wanted, my vision to come across. And you can every album that I've done has been produced by someone else. And not to say that they didn't capture exactly, they didn't capture the mood of every record that I've done and every album cover that they've done for me. But I think this album cover needed to be done by me because of how close I am to this particular record. So I took the photograph for the album cover and I did outsource it to my homie Ill Poetic, who does, a lot of my graphic design and also graphic design for Blueprint and Super Duty Tough Work. So shout out to Sound Reason. But he did the layout and added some font and everything, but the initial idea was mine. And I'm saying all that to say this. Whenever you have something that is special to you, and whenever, especially your art, because art is so personal, art is so, a big part of ourselves anyway, it's never a bad idea to attempt to do something yourself, because one reason that a lot of music acts get gypped on their first deals is because they've never taken the time to put an album out themselves. They've never taken the time to understand exactly what it costs to press a CD, what it costs to press some vinyl, what it costs to get t-shirts made. They don't understand the process of going through designs and checking proofs and, checking your test pressings for the vinyl. All of those things. Not saying that this, every album going forward I'm going to do myself, because it is a lot of work, but I can oversee a project. I can executive produce a project from the bottom up now, because I completely and utterly understand everything that goes in to putting an album out. And I had an idea, because I've put albums out before, but I've never completely, understood everything. When you want good merch, when you want good posters, when, like all of those things, like trying to find the right place and pricing the right people and, all of those things, I understand now all of the work that goes in. So if I do ever get signed again to a label, I have the wherewithal and the knowledge to direct them in the path that I want them to go, especially when they're using my art. So doing things yourself is super, super important. And word, Garrett, yeah, I've never really cussed on a track. I usually don't. It's very rare that I do. I have cursed on a few things. I think Off the Clock had a couple cuss words on it. A couple features here and there might have a cuss word or so, but I never go super crazy with the cursing, just because, as an MC, I've always thought that, I've never really needed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a, broad enough vocabulary to where I always can find another word to rhyme or another word that expresses what I want to say. But yeah, doing things yourself, man. Like, about 5 years ago, I wanted to dive into photography just so I could take my own, pictures, just so I could shoot my own videos at some point. And it took a lot of study. It took a lot of time, and I'm still not the best at it. I'm still learning a lot, but I picked up the camera so I could have a hand in doing that myself. I started producing because I wanted to have the power in what beats I rhymed over. I started taking my own photos and shooting some of my own videos because I wanted to be able to express, visually the things that I wanted to express. So it's definitely a power thing, but it's also so you understand how to speak the language. You understand how to tell people how to light your face. You understand how to, what backgrounds will look good with your skin color. You understand, certain things about how you look and, what pictures are taken, what lighting looks good on you, so on and so forth. So, it's all about learning how to speak the language. When you get into production, if you ever get beats from someone else, then you understand what decibel level certain things are. Turn this up 2 dB. You understand what a master is supposed to sound like. You understand that, this reverb needs to be taken down, a couple notches. This delay is a little too much. You need to take that down a couple notches. You understand how to speak those languages. So, I just want to encourage you guys to really, if there's anything that you want to do and things that you're hiring people for. Now, of course, I'm not a plumber, so I'm not going to try to fix my sink myself because I don't want to mess up my house. You know what I mean? But especially when it comes to art, and especially when it comes to things that are personal to you, always make an attempt to try them out yourself, because you never know if you can succeed at it. And especially with art, especially with music, you always want to know what you're doing or what someone else is doing when you hand them your art. If they're supposed to promote your art, then you understand what that promotion side is about because you've done it yourself. If you want someone to give you an album cover, you understand how you want it to look because you've done it yourself. You know it's possible when you've done it yourself. If you want a video, you've attempted to do these things yourself. So all I'm saying is never shy away from anything that your art or your, career even involves, and trying to learn how to do it yourself and on a personal level, because it's super important. Appreciate that, Jason, man. Yeah, these are some of my older beats, actually. Just thought it'd be a good backdrop for the night. But yeah, man. So Autopilot, all produced by me, mixed by me, mastered by my homie DJ Gensu. Album cover shot by me, layout done by my homie Ill Poetic. But art direction, everything else, done personally. You know what I'm saying? So, it's very important, and I understand that everybody doesn't have the time to learn how to shoot a video. Everybody doesn't have the time to learn how to, do graphic design and all of that stuff and produce. I understand that. But, there's certain things that you can at least do some study on so you can get an idea of what you like and what your sound, you want your sound to be. That way you can express those things to someone else when they're working for you. So that's all I got tonight, man. Just giving y'all a little short talk, about doing things yourself. Again, Autopilot, 20% off tonight only. Illogic.bandcamp.com, code AP20. You can get that there. But last but not least, I did tell y'all last week that I was gonna, show y'all something special. And you do get a new song tonight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody excited? Anybody excited? I'm excited. I'm super excited to show y'all. Y'all be the first ones to see this. This video, Aphex Twin, is premiering on GhettoBlasterMagazine.com next Wednesday. But because you guys are super dope and you've been rocking with me, you get to see it here first. So, without further ado, are y'all excited? Y'all excited? You know what I'm saying? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, yeah, without further ado, I want to show y'all this newest creation. And again, it's something that I did, myself. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I did myself. And, that's the whole purpose of this discussion today. I shot this video myself, edited it myself, did the coloring, all of that stuff myself, and just want to encourage you guys to embrace your power. Without further ado, without further ado, my bad. Without further ado, Aphex Twin.
Hello, dear friends. It's so beautiful up here, dear friends. It's so clean. Yes, dear friends, there's no drunken drivers here. No broken glass. No air.
Circling cyclones outside my window pane, damaged baselines, bandaged from this candid campaign slogan. Take America's faith again. I wait and grin with Aphex Twin acting on repeat. Sleep can only frame implosions. Caution is often viewed as a skewed display of fear. Soon today you'll hear an array of excuses that losers spout while watching the winners brave the winter's drought. Prosperous, the obstinance limits the amount of clout that they prepare to muster. Clusters of canvases clutter the gallery walls, littered with fictional diction, dictating a pixelated fallacy called impossible. Obstacles appear more immense when you're alone, but in their defense, the fence was placed there for your protection. Lessons are found in the tones of each of his parts of speech spoken, hoping to reach for the stars and be remembered for more than broken songs. Open to the option of the world singing along and watching the timeline we produce. There's a fine line between evidence and proof. Contemplating the relevance of truth, ovulating, impregnating the youth with intelligence to boost the future's greatness. I've been patient and practitioner, just waiting to lace you listeners with style, grace, and peace, running the race till each prisoner's released. At least this is the final call. A fall is in our midst. Catch the gist of what I'm tossing underhanded. This is just the tip of understanding, waiting in the wings flapping to lift the culture. With this gift I press till nothing's left for the vultures. We alter our vibrations based on the path we choose. At the fork in the road to tune, vengeance lays amazed and amused. Gone are the days of handshakes over coffee cake and milkshakes. Take advantage of the sun rays that manage to pierce the clouds. There's nothing more entrusting than extending a hand to a crowd that gathers in front of stage to witness while you think out loud. Take America's faith again. I wait and grin with Aphex Twin acting. I'm on repeat flying. There's no coming down.
I'm high, alright, but not on false drugs. I'm high, alright, but not on false drugs. I'm high, alright, but not on false drugs. I'm high on the real thing.
Yeah. What'd y'all think? Crazy good. I'm seeing some cool comments. I'm glad y'all appreciate it, man. Like, there's a lot of work shooting that and, editing it and all that stuff. Like, 2 weeks of work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, this will be premiering on Ghetto Blaster magazine next Wednesday. But, my Beats and B-Sides people get to see it first. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely super appreciate you guys. Hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you guys, supporting me. Remember, Beats and B-Sides every Friday. Also, Autopilot, 20% off tonight. AP20 on illogic.bandcamp.com till midnight. I'm glad y'all liked it. Yeah, the edit definitely was dope. You know what I'm saying? That trademarked me right there. Yeah, man, like, this album is really dope, you guys. Like, I'm really excited for you guys to hear it. And look forward to sharing it with you, man. So go ahead and pre-order the album if you haven't yet. And catch me next Friday. We will continue the journey to Autopilot. And I thank y'all so much, you know what I'm saying, for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Have a good night.